can't stop the rain from falling. You can't hold the sun in place. You can't fix the world around you. You can't win every single race. But before you curse the weather, before you blame the road, tell me honestly and slowly, have you handled what you owe? Is your mind in order, brother? Is your body standing straight? Is the fire in you burning, or did you let it sit and wait? You point your finger outward at everything that's wrong, but the house you're standing inside of has been broken far too long. You don't control the storm, you never did, you never will. But what about the ground beneath your feet? Is that ground still? Control what is yours, leave the rest alone. Sweep your own front porch before you judge another's home. You can't move the mountain, but you can move yourself. What's the point of knowing wisdom if it's just sitting on a shelf? Control what is yours, or it controls you. Is your word still worth the giving? Is your promise still intact? When you say that you'll be somewhere, brother, do you show up back? Is your body getting stronger, or you feeding it your fear? Are you reading, are you learning, or just drowning in the years? I'm not here to judge your journey, I have stumbled on my own. But the man who blames the darkness is the man who won't come home. So before the next complaint leaves from that mouth of yours tonight, ask yourself in honest silence, have I done what's in my right? You don't control the hand that others choose to play. But what about the hand you're holding? What did you do today? Control what is yours, leave the rest alone. Sweep your own front porch before you judge another's home. You can't move the mountain, but you can move yourself. What's the point of knowing wisdom if it's just sitting on a shelf? Control what is yours, or it controls. what the others do, watching what the world is watching. And there's another kind of man who wakes before the dawn, looks himself dead in the mirror, and that's what must be done. He doesn't need the world to change, he already started. He doesn't need permission, he's been working since he started. His room is clean, his word is kept, his body is his temple, his mind is not for rent. That man doesn't control everything, but everything he controls is handled. Control what is yours, that's where power lives, not in what the world owes you, but in everything you give. You can't stop the storm from coming, but you can stand prepared. A gentleman controls himself, and everything he's dead. Control what is yours, every single day. Control what is yours, and watch it all change. I stopped explaining myself a long time ago. Stopped waiting for the room to understand the way I move so slow. Every morning looks the same, same boots, same road, same sky. I don't ask where it's taking me, I just keep moving by. No complaints on my lips, no defense in my hands, just the work lay before me and the will to withstand. I don't need them to see it, I don't need them to know. The only proof that matters is the fruit of what I grow. Not loud, not fast, not burning bright for show. Just one more day of doing what I promised long ago. I don't complain, I don't explain, I just put my head down and I do it again. Same hour, same hunger, same road in the rain. Success don't come looking, you go find it again. Every day, every dawn, every quiet begin. I don't stop, I don't fold, I just do it again. There ain't no place like a man who knows exactly where he's going. There are men who talk about the mountain, men who photograph the view, men who write about the climb, but they never follow through. And then there's men disappear into the early morning gray. No announcement, no applause, just accountable to the day. I have failed more times than I have won. That's the honest truth, but failure never stopped me like it stopped me in my youth. I just filed it as a lesson, shook the dust off of my knees, and went back to the beginning with a little more expertise. Not brilliant, not chosen, not lucky from the start. Just a man who kept his promise to the calling in his heart. I don't complain, I don't explain, I just put my head down and I do it again. Same hour, same hunger, same road in the rain. Success don't come looking, you go find it again. Every day, every dawn, every quiet begin. I don't stop, I don't fold, I just do it again. The world will try to sell you a faster, easier way. Some secret, some shortcut, some formula to say. But the men who built their lives on something real and true never bought the shortcut, they just did what they had to do. One more page, one more mile, one more set, one more trial, one more dawn, one more choice, one more day, one more voice, saying quietly to no one, saying quietly to all. The only way to rise, brothers, is to answer every call. I don't complain, I don't explain, I watch the others talking while I'm out in the rain. Same hour, same order, same road, same refrain. Success is just a shout out of a man who remained. Every day, every dawn, every silent campaign. I don't stop, I don't fold, I just do it again. And again, and again. Nobody sees a Tuesday, nobody sees a great Wednesday, nobody sees the Thursday when you had every reason to stop, but you didn't. That's not talent, that's not luck. It's just a man who kept going, keep going. Keep going. I don't wear my wounds on my sleeve, I carry them deep where no one can see. The devil sat down at my table one night, said, boy, you look tired, let me show you the light. I poured him a glass, let him say what he said, then I walked out alone with his words in my head. I don't scream, I don't beg, I don't break. Every scar that I carry is a choice that I make. I am my bloodline, gravel in my soul. I was born in the fire, I came out whole. I move in silence through the smoke and the rain. A gentleman bleeds The night is my witness, the whiskey my friend. I walk this road alone until the very end. No crown on my head, no applause in the dark, just the weight of my silence and the blues in my heart. My father never told me that the strong ones fall too, that the quietest voices carry the heaviest truth. I've burned through my seasons, I've outlived my goals. I raise my glass slowly to the ones I love most. The city don't know me, the streets don't speak, but every empty mile has made me complete. I don't scream, I don't beg, I don't fold. There are stories in my silence that will never be told. Ashes to iron, from dust I was made. I cast no long shadow, I walk unafraid. I move in silence, through the smoke and the rain. A gentleman bleeds, but he won't speak his pain. The night is my witness, the whiskey my friend. I walk this road alone until the very end. No crown on my head, no applause in the dark, just the weight of my silence and the blues in my heart. Every king walks alone, that's the price of the throne. Every fire burns cold when you build it alone. I don't need your applause, I don't need your eyes. I need the open road, the open skies. The devil still calls me from time to time. I let the blues answer, that silence is mine. There are men who are loud and men who endure. I chose the long silence, I chose something pure. I built my cathedral from rubble and rain. I carved out my name in the side of my pain. No one will sing this, no one will know, but somewhere a gentleman nods as I go. I move in silence through the smoke and the rain. A gentleman bleeds, but he won't speak his pain. The night is my witness, the whiskey my friend. I walk this road alone until the very end. No crown on my head, no applause in the dark, just the weight of my silence and the blues in my heart. The rain keeps falling, keep walking through the smoke, through the dark, through the years. The gentleman remains silent, always silent. Loudest war I ever fought was never fought outside. It lived between my temple, it was eating me alive. 1,000 voices screaming what I'm not and what I'll be. 1,000 hands of doubt reaching in and pulling me. Couldn't hear my own name through the static and the rain. Couldn't read my own story through the fear upon the page. The world outside was shouting, but the world inside was worse. And I realized that morning that my mind was both a blessing and a curse. So I went quiet, like a man who finally knows the battlefield is inward. That's the last place that it shows. You don't conquer what is outside until you conquer what's within. The game was always mental, that's where losing starts and winning begins. Silence and noise, silence a crowd, silence of voices screaming too loud. The war that you're fighting was never out there. It lives in the dark at the top of the stairs. When the mind first, when the mind first, then watch the whole world rearrange itself. When the mind first. I used to let them in, every opinion, every doubt, every voice that had a verdict on what I was about. The noise became my compass and it led me to the ground. I mistook the loudest voices for the most profound. But a lion doesn't answer when the smaller creatures bark. And a man of real intention does his building in the dark. No announcement, no permission, no applause to keep him warm. Just the silence of a warrior walking steady through the storm. So I went deeper, past the fear, past the shame, past the version of myself that kept on playing small and tame. You don't win by being louder, you don't win by being fast. You win by being steady when the noise has breathed its last. Silence the noise, myself when the mind first. They told me I was crazy for going so quiet. They called it weakness, they called it retreat. They didn't understand that the strongest men alive are the ones who master the chaos underneath. You want the life, then silence the lie. You want the crown, then discipline the mind. Every champion you've admired, every man who built it right, won his greatest battle in the middle of the night, alone, in silence, against himself. That's the game. That's always been the game. Silence the noise, let the weak ones shout. Silence the voices that fill you with doubt. The war is not out there in the street or the crowd. The war is the mirror, the quiet, the loud. When the mind first, when the mind first, then walk through the world like you already know. You want the mind first. The game of life is mental, always was. The man who controls his mind controls his world. Silence everything that lies to you. Silence everything. I laid everything I had upon that table. Every truth I owned, every scar I was able. I gave the best of me without a second thought, and learned that some things can't be bought. I didn't raise my voice, I didn't break the glass. I just looked around and knew that some things are meant to last. Not every door deserves a knock twice. Not every cold room deserves a sacrifice. So I tip my hat and I take my leave. No anger in my chest, no sorrow on my sleeve. A gentleman knows when the giving is done. He don't chase the rain, he just walks toward the sun. This ain't defeat, this is dignity. I offered all I had. Now I'm finally free. a certain kind of peace in releasing what won't hold, in folding up your heart and stepping out into the cold. Not because you're empty, but because you're full of the quiet understanding that you know your own soul. Some men stay and lose themselves, some men leave and find their way. I chose the one that cost me more, I chose to walk away. So I tip my hat and I take my leave. No anger in my chest, no sorrow on my sleeve. A gentleman knows when the giving is done. He don't chase the rain, he just walks toward the sun. This ain't defeat, this is dignity. I offered all I had. Now I'm finally free. The greatest thing a man can do is know his own worth, not from pride, but from everything he survived on this earth. When what you give is never enough for them, it's always enough for you. So I tip my hat and I take my leave. The blues in my pocket, the night on my sleeve. A gentleman walks when the giving is done, not chasing the rain, just walking toward the sun. This ain't the end, this is dignity. I offered all I was. Now I'm finally free. Sometimes the bravest thing is a quiet goodbye. No scene, no storm, just a gentleman and the open road. And the open road.
They wrote my name in past tense while I still walk the street. They divided what was mine before they seen me beat. They whispered at my funeral, but I wasn't there to hear. I was out in the cold darkness, rebuilding what was dear. They said he won't recover, they said he's lost his way. They said the man is finished, let him fade and let him fray. But something old inside me, something iron, something raw, said get up one more time, boy, like you always did before. I heard every word they said, I felt every door they closed. I saw every turn back from the ones I needed most. But the grave they dug for me became the ground I stood upon, and everything they took from me became the reason I held on. You buried me breathing, you left me for the dark. You counted every reason why I'd fall apart. But here I am still standing in the ruins that you made. The man you tried to finish is the hardest man to break. You buried me breathing, that was your mistake. I lost everything in winter, the name, the house, the ground. I stood in empty silence where my life had come unwound. No hand reached down to find me, no voice called out my name. Just me and what was left of me, and both of us the same. But something woke at midnight when the last of hope went cold. A voice that sounded ancient, like it came from somewhere old. It said, you are not what they said, you are not what they took. You are every page of every hard and unread book. I became my own witness in the court of my own pain. I became my own defense when they threw me in the rain. And the verdict that I gave myself was guilty of one thing, of not believing sooner in the man I was becoming. You buried me breathing, you left me for the dark. You counted every reason why I'd fall apart. But here I am still standing in the ruins that you made. The man you tried to finish is the hardest man to break. You buried me breathing, that was your mistake. To your kind of silence that only the abandoned know. When the room empties around you, when you watch the last one go, there is a particular kind of cold that only the discarded feel. When everything you gave out freely comes back asking to be healed. I sat inside that silence, I survived inside that cold, and what came out the other side cannot be bought or sold. It has no name in any language, it has no flag, no face. It's just a man who made it standing in his rightful place. You buried me breathing, you sealed me in the ground. You told the world I'm finished, you spread that story around. But every nail you hammered was a lesson, was a gift. Every grave you dug for me became the place I live. You buried me breathing, now watch what breathing does. You buried me breathing, and I came back as I was. Not broken, not diminished, not the man you left behind. You buried me breathing, but you couldn't bury my mind. They bury men like us because they fear. Awake before the world decides to stir. I make my bed before the day occurs. No audience, no applause, no open door. Just a man becoming something more. The smile I gave the mirror cracked and old, and felt the morning soften in the cold. I moved my body when it begged to stay, and somewhere in the motion found my way. It's not the mountain, it's not the climb, it's every quiet morning, every practice time. You are what you do when no one sees. That's where a man discovers who he'll be. Smile and the light comes closer, move and the strength comes back, learn and the road gets clearer, give and you feel the cracks. You are not your intentions, you are what you do. Every repeated silence, every morning you push through. A gentleman is built in the hours no one knew. Noise called my name and turned the final page, not quite the same. I helped a stranger carry half his load and found my purpose somewhere on that road. I closed my eyes and held the vision near, watch the fire walked through the door, not long past noon. It's not the grand gesture, not the loud parade. It's in the quiet discipline a real man is made. Every small decision is a stone you lay, building who you are one chosen day. Smile and the light comes closer, move and the strength comes back, learn and the road gets clearer, give and you feel the cracks. You are not your intentions, you are what you do. Every repeated silence, every morning you push through. A gentleman is built in the hours no one knew. Nobody sees the 5 a.m. Nobody sees the lesson earned. Nobody sees the breath you took before the table turned. But the man you're becoming sees every single thing, and he's been waiting impatiently for you to let him in. Smile and the light comes closer, move and the body heals, learn and the world gets wider, give and you find what's real. You are not your past, now you're what you choose. Every quiet morning, every single move. The gentleman is standing in the man you grew. Every morning is a vote, every habit is a voice. You already know the man you're becoming. You've been choosing him. You've been choosing him. All along. I used to fall apart at every door that closed. I used to beg the night to tell me what it knows. I used to wait for someone else to pull me through, until the mirror showed me everything I had to do. The boy inside me wanted comfort, wanted arms, wanted someone else to carry him away from harm. But the man I was becoming had no time to wait. He picked the boy up gently and he walked him through the gate. No one's coming, no one's coming. That's the hardest truth to face. But the moment that you own it, you begin to take your place. Children cry when the world gets heavy. Men get up and they make it right. Children wait for somebody to save them. Men become the saving light. Heal the wound, don't you wear it like a crown. The scar is just the proof that you refuse to stay down. Grown men don't crumble, grown men don't run. They bury what is broken and they rise toward the sun. I carried every wound I never spoke about. I wore my damage quietly and called it out. I let the old pain sit inside and run the show, until I finally understood it had to go. Not because it didn't happen, not because it wasn't real, but because I am the only one with power left to heal. I took the broken pieces, laid them out across the floor, looked at every single one and said, you don't own me anymore. No one heals you, no one heals you like the man you choose to be. Every wound you face directly is the one that sets you free. Children cry when the world gets heavy. Men get up and they make it right. Children wait for somebody to save them. Men become the saving light. Heal the wound, don't you wear it like a crown. The scar is just a proof that you refuse to stay down. Grown men don't crumble, grown men don't run. They bury what is broken and they rise toward the sun. I know what it is to be small inside a grown man's shoes. I know what it costs to keep walking when you got nothing left to lose. I know the weight of wounds that nobody ever saw. I know the taste of getting up when you've been flat on the floor. But I also know the morning on the other side of pain. I also know the man you are when you walk through the rain and don't dissolve. So feel it, face it, name it, then leave it behind. The boy deserves better, the man will make sure the boy finally gets it this time. Children cry when the world gets heavy. Men stand up when the weight gets real. Children wait for the pain to leave them. Men reach down and they start to heal. Heal the wound, wear the scar with honor now. Every battle that you survived is a promise and a vow. Grown men don't crumble, grown men don't run. They heal what was broken, they become what they want. joy inside you deserve to be saved. So save him, get up, heal, win. That's what grown men do. I've carried what would crush a lesser man. I've walked through fire with no promised land. I've lost the things I built with my own hands, and I rose again, because that's who I am. I don't need your pity, and I don't need your prayers. I've been down so long, I made a home down there. But every single morning I get up and I move, because a broken man who rises is a man with nothing left to lose. I don't scream, I don't beg, I don't crack. Every time the darkness came, I gave it something back. Not anger, not revenge, just a quiet iron will. The kind of man who's been through hell and carry himself still. I don't break, I bend like old iron in the rain. I don't break, I carry every scar and every stain. The world can take its best shot at everything I own, but a gentleman who's built from pain was never built alone. I don't break, I never break. I have loved but didn't love me in return. I have given everything and watched it burn. I have stood in empty rooms and kept my faith. Never let them see me crumble, never lost my grace. Some men fall and stay there in the dirt. Some men wear their damage like they're proud of every hurt. I just quietly rebuild what came undone, not for anyone to witness, just because it's who I become. I don't scream, I don't beg, I don't fold. There are chapters in my silence that will never be told. I took every single blow and I stayed true. If you wanna know what strength looks like, I've been standing here for you. I don't break, I bend like old iron in the rain. I don't break. I carry every scar and every stain. The world can take its best shot at everything I own, but a gentleman who's built from pain was never built alone. I don't break, I never break. They said I'd never make it past the worst of it. They counted me as finished when I couldn't see the light. Not one of them was standing when I came back from the night. You wanna know what I am made of? Look at everything I survived. I am not the man they buried, I'm the man who stayed alive. I don't break, I rise from every loss and every shame. I don't break, I say my own name in the dark and it remains. The world can send its coldest night as long as rain. A gentleman who's forged in fire doesn't rust the same. I don't break, I never break. Still here, still standing, still mine. You tried your worst, I'm still standing in the dark, and I don't break. And I don't break. Started with a smile, and the morning felt unkind. A small and quiet gesture, just to settle my own mind. And something in the universe leaned a little close and gave me back in measure what I needed most. I laced my boots at dawn when my body wanted rest. Put one foot on the pavement, let the movement do the rest. Somewhere in the rhythm of the breath and of the mile, I found a kind of medicine that lasted more than a while. It ain't magic, it ain't mystery, it's just the gentle law of what you choose to be. Every morning is a mirror, every habit is a key. You smile, you draw the sunlight in, you move your body sit in stillness, watch the noise fall away. You learn one thing, you're further than yesterday. You are what you do when nobody's watching you. The quiet rituals of a gentleman are what carry him through. Like a man walking at his own pace, no hurry. And every page I finished never left me quite the same. I closed my eyes and held the vision clear and bright. And slowly what I dreamed of started stepping to the light. I helped a stranger carry what I used to drop myself, and found a deeper purpose sitting quietly on a shelf. I folded all my chaos into corners clean and still, and peace walked through the doorway like it always knew it will. It ain't about the grand gesture or the crowd, it's what you do in silence when you're not playing loud. Every small repeated choice is how a man is found. You smile, you draw the sunlight in, you move your body, let the healing begin. You sit in stillness, watch the noise fall away. You learn one thing, you're further than yesterday. You are what you do when nobody's watching you. The quiet rituals of a gentleman are what carry him through. Nobody sees the 5 a.m., nobody sees the pages turn, nobody sees the breath you took before the lesson learned. But the man in the mirror sees it all, and that's the only audience that ever really mattered at all. You smile, the world leans towards you. You move, the strength comes back to you. You're still, the answers find their way. You help someone, your purpose wants to stay. You are what you do, quietly, faithfully true. The life you want is already in the small things you choose. Is love a little more? Move a little more, learn a little more, give a little more. You already know who you're becoming, you've known all along. I don't speak my wounds, I wear them like a coat. every scar a lesson carved into my throat. The night became my teacher, the rain became my church. I graduated quietly, no witness to my word. No applause, no altar, no one held my hand. I just rose from every ruin like only broken men can. I'm a gentleman of the dark. I was made, not given. Every road I ever walked, I walked unbidden. Whiskey in my bloodline, blues inside my chest. I don't ask for mercy, I just outlast the rest. My name, but he respects my pace. He tried to break me twice, both times I held my face. Some men need the spotlight just to feel they're real. I need the empty highway and the cold I learned to feel. No crown, no kingdom, no one kept the score. I just built myself from ashes, then I built myself some more. I'm a gentleman of the dark. I was made, not given. Every road I ever walked, I walked unbidden. Whiskey in my bloodline, blues inside my chest. I don't ask for mercy, I just outlast the rest. They'll never write my name in gold, they'll never tell my story, but every silent man alive knows exactly what I'm carrying. I'm a gentleman of the dark. I was made, not given. Every scar, every silence, every night I've lived in. Whiskey in my bloodline, blues inside my chest. I don't ask for glory, I just outlast the rest. Silence is the loudest thing a real man ever said. Built from darkness, still standing. never got a name. Baptized in blue smoke, educated by the pain. The devil poured 2 glasses, said he knew what I had lost. I looked him in the eye and said, then you know what it costs. I don't scream into the dark, I don't beg for the light. I just carry what is broken through the silence of the night. I am iron and ashes, smoke without fire, a gentleman standing on the edge of the choir. No one lights my way, no one calls my name. I just move through the silence like the end of the rain. I've loved and I've buried, I've fallen and stood. I built my throne in the dark house, like every lone king should. No crown, no applause, no witness to my war. Just a man and his silence, and the blues at the core. I don't bleed where they can see, I don't fall where I'm known. Every king that ever mattered built his throne alone. I am iron and ashes, smoke without fire, a gentleman standing on the edge of the choir. No one lights my way, no one calls my name. I just move through the silence like the end of the rain. The loudest thing in any room is a man who doesn't speak. I've been burning since forever. I was strong when I was weak. I am iron and ashes, smoke without fire, a gentleman standing on the edge of the choir. No crown, no applause, just a dark and a pain. I move through the silence like the end of